Amara had always been hesitant about joining the gym. The thought of stepping into a room filled with fitness enthusiasts intimidated her. But after much encouragement from her best friend, she decided to take the plunge. What she didn't expect was meeting Dami, the gym instructor who would soon become the center of her thoughts. Dami was everything one might expect of a fitness trainer. Tall and broad-shouldered, with a warm smile that could melt ice, he exuded confidence without arrogance. Amara noticed him the moment she stepped into the gym for her first session. He was guiding another client, his deep voice carrying over the music, his words encouraging yet firm. Amara felt her cheeks warm as his eyes briefly met hers. She quickly looked away, pretending to focus on her membership form. Dami introduced himself with a firm handshake when Amara approached the desk for her first session. "Welcome, Amara. First time at a gym?" She nodded, biting her lip nervously. "Yes, and I have no idea what I'm doing." He chuckled, his laugh deep and infectious. "That's what I'm here for. Let's take it one step at a time." Over the next few weeks, Amara became more comfortable with the gym. Dami's patience and expertise made the sessions enjoyable. He never pushed her beyond her limits, but he knew when to challenge her. Slowly, she began to notice changes in herself, not just physically, but in her confidence too. One morning, Amara arrived for a session, feeling particularly self-conscious. She had recently bought a pair of fitted leggings and a tank top, something she never would have dared to wear a month ago. As she stepped onto the gym floor, she caught Dami's eye. His gaze lingered for a second longer than usual before he quickly smiled and greeted her. "Looking ready to conquer today," he said, handing her a towel. She smiled shyly. "Let's hope I survive." The session was intense. Dami guided her through various exercises, his hands occasionally adjusting her posture. Each time he touched her, a light brush on her shoulder, a firm hand on her waist to correct her stance. She felt her heartbeat quicken. His touch was professional, yet it left a lingering warmth. During a set of squats, Dami knelt beside her, his proximity making her breath hitch. "Keep your back straight," he instructed, his voice low. He placed a hand lightly on her lower back to guide her. Amara's skin tingled where his hand rested. Over time, their conversations became more personal. Dami would ask about her day, her interests, and her goals beyond fitness. Amara found herself looking forward to their sessions, not just for the workouts, but for the moments of connection they shared. One evening, after a particularly grueling session, Dami handed her a bottle of water and sat beside her on the gym bench. "You've come a long way, Amara. You should be proud of yourself." She smiled, wiping her forehead with a towel. "Thanks to you. Honestly, I don't think I would have stuck with it if it weren't for your encouragement." He tilted his head, his eyes warm. "You've always had it in you. I just helped you see it." The way he looked at her made her stomach flutter. There was something in his gaze, an unspoken understanding, a connection that went beyond words. One rainy evening, Amara was the last client of the day. The gym was nearly empty, the sound of raindrops against the windows creating a cozy ambiance. As they wrapped up the session, Dami suggested stretching to cool down. "Let's do some partner stretches," he said, guiding her to a mat. Amara hesitated, but nodded. As they began, Dami gently helped her through each movement. His hands were firm yet careful, his voice soothing as he guided her breathing. When he helped her into a seated stretch, his hands rested briefly on her thighs to steady her. The moment felt intimate, charged with unspoken energy. Amara looked up at him, her eyes meeting his. For a moment, time seemed to pause. Dami's hand lingered, his expression softening. "You're doing great," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "Thanks to you," she replied, her voice just as soft. The tension between them grew in the days that followed. Their interactions were laced with stolen glances and subtle touches that lingered longer than necessary. Amara found herself thinking about him outside the gym, replaying their moments together. One evening, as they finished another session, Dami hesitated before speaking. "Amara, can I be honest with you?" She looked at him, her heart pounding. "Of course." He exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck nervously. "I know it's unprofessional to say this, but I've been drawn to you since the day you walked in here. You're not just a client to me. You're special." Amara's breath caught. She had felt the same way, but never dared to hope he might feel it too. "I feel the same," she admitted, and from that day onward was a more interesting and beginning of something serious.